You're now watching Down Under Derby TV. Hey there, you're watching Down Under Derby TV.
Shame upon her. Too much time sitting in that room, simply working on our bad attitude. And so we entered Coliseum. We fought our bunch of angry demons, packed up like a tight little cube. It all went up in smoke and then we're gone. We don't have any money, we don't have much time, although we keep on telling ourselves it's all fine. We have to worry, well that's just so good. Only there is worry that's understood. Three came down with the sunlight, postcards, metaphors of fun. We blended in with the wildlife, hoping to catch a glimpse at one. They blaze hay like a bonfire, well-made children of the sun. They faded into the quagmire, unaccustomed to a gun. And if that gives your heart a tremor, face up with your mental dilemma. Headbutt a wall or two, maybe you'll call yourself a fighter. Now get yourself a true opponent. Get them to punch and kick and beat ya. Pray that it conditions you to take a punch and maybe you'll survive. We don't have any money, we don't have much time, although we keep on telling ourselves it's all fine. And if we have to worry, that's just no good. My only fear is worry that's understood. In the spring of puzzles and diets, do you believe you'll ever triumph? When what is left behind is ruin, that all imploded with a bang and a boom. And all we hear is news of violence, too few stories of benevolence. What else is a poet do but try to make it through this world alive? We don't have any money, we don't have much time, although we keep on telling ourselves it's all fine. And if we have to worry, well that's just so good. My only fear is worry that's understood. We don't have any money, we
I may not be old as Margaret Thatcher, but oh, boy, have I got a thirst. My darling first husband was older than me, and oh, boy, was that a mistake. Men have to be gotten when they're young and pliant, and then it's a piece of cake. Step one, get 'em young. Step two, keep 'em guessing. Step three, feel free, be who you wanna be. Step four, kick 'em out the door. Step five, repeat at step one. Young men can be handy in so many ways. You don't have to take it from me. They're loyal and doting and can go for days. You just have to try it and see. They can carry the groceries and shovel the snow. They can give you a sense of joie de vivre. A young man will go wherever you want to go. You just have to trust and believe. Step one, get 'em young. Step two, keep 'em guessing. Step three, feel free, be who you want to be. Step four, kick 'em out the door. Step five, repeat at step one. Step one, get 'em young. Step two, keep 'em guessing. Step three, feel free, be who you wanna be. Step four, kick 'em out the door. Step five, repeat at step one.
Endless conflict all the weekend suffer. Apathetic dicks of fire in their eyes. And castles govern round in borders. Early warnings of another genocide. And history forget no longer. The ones that I let murderers decide. From interest of the next star warnings. Vulnerable, stumble hardest every time. Romeo, Romeo, go witness to the world. All the testament to defend it on its own. Like a lion out of the show, restrained by a mouse. Every devil turned the moon into a charnel house. Blood, red, every the horrors that you see. Postcard ships forging the fires of pity tend not to be the most rewarding or stand the test of time. Her figure casts the longest shadow, even though she stands with her back to the sun. Sunstroke has never been a problem, with the skin so thick it could never let anything in. We care about you, we care about you, we care about your ways, your moods, your feelings. We care about your state of mind. We care about you, so don't you try to run away. Don't you hide from this old team. Hide from this old sea. We care about your ways, your moods, your feelings. We care about your state of mind.
Hi, I'm Judge Booty. We are the VR, the Virgin Regime. We are a worldwide collective of queer skaters, their allies and their supporters. Roller derby is an inclusive sport. No matter how you identify or who you love, there is a team near you who will welcome you with loving arms and massive bruises.
Welcome to East Coast Invitational Day number 2 here at Niagara Park. Apologies about the lack of commentary so far this morning, but we are very short on crew this morning. I wasn't meant to be working this game myself at all. Well, I was, but just as standing back producing, taking the mic up just to fill in some spots for the moment. So I am the Flat Track Protocol. You're watching East Coast Invitational 2017, the Dishonour Rollers from Varsity Roller Derby League up against the Death Stars from Northside Rollers in Melbourne. So a ACT versus Victorian team, Canberra versus Northside of Melbourne. Scores are currently at 130 for the Death Stars and 93 for the Dishonour Rollers. We've got 16 minutes and 47 seconds left in play. Just tweaking some audio settings here while we're going, so let me know if you have issues hearing me or if it's not sounding good. Definitely let me know if you hear any music on the stream. We cannot have music played on Downunder WTV streams. We need worldwide non-exclusive distribution rights to any music we use. Big call out to any roller derby bands, musicians that do have material that you would like us to use. We'll use it with titles, we'll promote your band and your music, and we'll play it during our half times and between games, so that the venues do get to provide some entertainment for the people who are here if they choose to. It just makes it better for everyone. So it's not that we can't have music, it's just that we need to make sure it's coordinated so that we don't get pinged for copyright violations and we don't get strikes against the Downunder Derby name on YouTube. And I'm sure you all understand. Down on track 2, we have a game underway there as well. I don't have the details right in front of me. I do have the tournament brackets, but it hasn't been updated yet. So one of the other many things we need to get on top of today once we get a bit more of our crew in and here. Massive thank you to the crew that are here so far today. Man's Laughter up on the upstairs camera for you, for your viewing pleasure, providing you these images that you're watching alongside my voice on the Flat Track Protocol. Down on the other track we have George W. Douche and Sasha Fierce with the mics. Still just got locked off camera down on the other track. We're actually on our, what would be considered our track 3 kit if we ever had to do three tracks simultaneously. We had some issues with the track 2 kit, the Trixie Travels kit as it's been known. Still want to finalise those last of the donations that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago to finish that kit. You can support Downunder WTV by going to Patreon, that's patreon.com/DDTV, pledging as little as $1 a month as a fan to support us. That money goes towards our data bills and cables and the other things that we have, the other things that we go through while doing this streaming. So that covers those things, the other sponsorship money, the larger amounts that we're after from advertisers and leagues and the like. They go towards the more expensive equipment. So we're looking at buying a new capture device for Trixie's Travels kit, a USB 3 capture device to go with her laptop. That will actually free up a lot of her CPU to be able to do the things needed for the rest of the stream, and an audio interface is the second bit of equipment we need for her to bring in those mics a little bit better. However, the kit down on track 2 is working nicely too. It's not quite as nice as track 1 to watch, but we apologise about that, and that track will be wrapping up after a couple of games this morning, and all of the main action will be down here in the fully produced coverage. What you've come to expect from Downunder Derby TV, replays, rosters, penalty boards, the works, where we'll be hoping to provide to you for the finals. So I haven't actually been calling much of the action on the track in this game. I don't have my glasses for a start, and I wasn't prepped to commentate at all this weekend. I had not even considered that would happen, but I'm always willing to pick up a mic when there's no one else here to do it. So looking over the rosters, and I have actually done this before. I did this in the last half, but we didn't actually... You'd think I would check that everything was working fine before I read rosters and start commentating. So I took the break for half-time, came back, and here I am now. And I hope I'm right about that. But anyway, I might have done it twice. For the Varsity Derby League, Dishonour Rollers, 007 Blocked Pussy, and thank you, Blocked Pussy, for commentating for us yesterday on the stream. Looking forward to working with you again. Blocked Pussy is out of the pack. She's not your lead jammer. That honour does go to number 301 from Northside Rollers, Fizz Gig. Fizzgig in the pack, picking up points as we speak. Picked up a couple, denying any to blocked pussy. That's the end of gem number 18, period 2. 12 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock. 137 plays and 97. So still anyone's game. There's only 40 points in it. 40 points is not a comfortable margin in the game of roller derby. 007 blocked a pussy. 08 Joe Dirt. Number 10 Slams. Number 18 Spanky, number 182 Eduhato, number 19 Hot Mess, number 22 Pins and Needles, number 23 Red Hot Chili Pepper, number 375 Ginger Ale, number 393 Sylvia Psychopath. Is that Path or Plath? It's spelled Plath on my list, so I'm reading what I have in front of me. Sorry if it's Psychopath. Number 43 The Cleaver. An interesting fact about Cleaver: the Cleaver joined roller derby in 2009, the same year I did. So we both been around for a little while there. Number 666 The Terror. Sari Terra, and number 928 Maleficent Mara. Taking a look down the list for the Northside Rollers, the Death Stars, number 0 Duchess of Hazard, number 11 Suspender, number 119 Daywalker, number 301 Fizzgig, number 3892 Catitude Problem, number 43 Malice, number 455 Huge Ass, number 47 Misery, number 5 Sunny Onslaught, number 52 Bella Bomber, the captain of the team, number 73 Liz Williams, number 76 Mad Pixie, number 8 Slander, number 801 Aka Armoff, number 88 Mr. Bowler, and number 883 Venus Fly Slap. Brings us to the end of jam number 19. Time out has been called. Looking like a Northside Rollers timeout. Just waiting for confirmation to confirm that. Scoreboard says Dishonour Rollers. Apologies for that. I'd like to take the opportunity within our timeout to thank our sponsors, Skate Project, Better Bearings, and Maitland Roller Derby League. Maitland Roller Derby League specifically for our instant replays that we've been using this season. They provided the license upgrade needed to be able to do that. So we will be putting their logo, their team logo, or their league logo on all of our replays for the rest of the year. So massive thank you to Maitland Roller Derby League. Massive thank you, of course, to Skate Project. Without Skate Project, we wouldn't get any data to stream with at all. They make sure we've got the base minimum covered. They make sure we've got enough to get out there. We do need more. We've actually just had to add a second plan to our coverage, which we will be using for the Trixie travel kit. So we are after a new sponsor to cover that second mobile phone plan. It's currently coming from a small number of community sponsors, people like you who are donating $1 a day, $1 a month, or a little more at patreon.com/DDTV. That extra money does go all to data and to things like cables and things that get broken when we're out and about on the road and putting some of our equipment in dangerous situations. Cables especially getting rolled over or pulled out and broken. That happens fairly frequently. So that extra money from people like you watching, it does go towards those bits and pieces. You can subscribe to support us on Patreon, patreon.com, patreon.com/DDTV. Jam number 20 about to get underway here. Jam timer is in position. End of timeout is whistled. Massive thank you to all of the officials here this weekend. Tournament head NSO, Monster, just getting some additional paperwork in front of us, some updated rosters with corrected numbers and all kinds of things. Doing a fantastic job making sure all of the paperwork is in order this weekend. Thank you very much, Monster, and all of your crew. Of course, personally, do like to see Monster on my crew. Monster has been joining my crew a little bit lately for some 5x5 coverage. It's an absolute pleasure to have Monster commentating and helping us on our stats and penalties and things like that. So big shout out to Monster. Thank you. Back to the action on the track, though. That's number 2-3 Red Hot Chili Pepper jamming it for the Dishonour Rollers. Up the front of the pack, has a couple to pass. Does find her way through the inside. Picks up those points. Lots of on-track communication. Hope our mics are picking up a lot of that. .301 Fizzgig jamming for the Death Stars. Gets taken down. Low block called against the blocking skater. Didn't quite catch who that skater was taking a seat in the penalty box, but they are wearing the pivot stripe for the Dishonour Rollers. 50-point game now. And as I say that, it changes again. The curse of the commentators. Every time you read a score, and then so presses a button on the scoreboard and it changes once again while you are mid-reading it. Guaranteed to happen almost every time. It's a slightly chilly Sunday morning here on the Central Coast of New South Wales. Big happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers watching. If you're watching your daughter on the track for Mother's Day, wow, what a mother. So big shout out to mothers everywhere today, especially those watching the Downunder Derby coverage, especially if one of your children is on the track right now. Big shout out to you. I'm hoping you're enjoying the coverage. Don't think she's watching, but a big shout out to my mum as well. I will be giving you a call shortly when I do get a game off later on today, so or between games at some point. But I know you're not listening, but a big shout out to my mum too. Ooh. Contact taken to the face there by the pivot of Northside 5-2. Bella Bomber. Didn't appear to be illegal contact though. No penalties were assessed or called for. Blocked a pussy jamming for Varsity Dishonour Rollers. Lead jammer status has already been awarded. Is in the pack already and picking up points. Only a couple of blockers to get past at the beginning of the pack. At the front of the pack does so and is out. Another 5 points in the sky for Blocked a Pussy. Just 8 minutes left of play in this game. Blocked a Pussy pirouetting around the front blocker of the pack there, picking up some more points out of the... I'm not sure if it was out of the box actually, but Jammer for Northside also now slipping through the pack. Makes very fast time around. A little apex hop, number 76, that's Mad. Picks him on Northside. Picks up the points with the apex hop right on the tail of Blocked a Pussy now. Both jammers approaching the pack, hitting the engagement zone. Blocked a Pussy just in front of Mad Pixie. Both jammers come in hot. Mad Pixie finding her up through the pack first. Takes the inside, steps to the middle, picks up the 4 points. Blocked a Pussy still being held back. No, Blocked a Pussy held back at the front of the pack. One blocker to go, gets past there, 2 more points. Long jam being played here. Dishonour Rollers taking the chance to change that score differential down to 35 points now. Had been 50 a couple of jams ago, so 35 is a nice improvement on that. And with 6 minutes of play left, this game is still very much anybody's. It's been quite an exciting game of roller derby, as has much of the action been here this weekend at the East Coast Invitational. Big shout out to Sir Jestive and Hans Offerback, the people I've been dealing with most in organising our coverage of this event and talking about what was needed and how we could make it happen. So thank you guys. Love the events you put on. They're always a lot of work, but there is so much derby and that's what makes them worthwhile. Venus Fire Slap is jamming for the Northside Rollers. Death Stars up against, and I can't quite see it, and bear with me. Still no visual confirmation of the jammer for the Dishonour Rollers. There does not appear to be a star on the track at the moment, and the Sheriff is blocking my view of the penalty box. Gemma is standing in the penalty box. Lucky I have more eyes than the ones in my head, thanks to Graham upstairs with a camera who can find that for me and make sure I can see that there was in fact a Gemma in the penalty box. Joe Dare gets taken out with a massive block to the outside. Appears to have Gemma cap in hand. Jam gets caught up by the Northside Rollers. 5 minutes left on the period clock. Once again, we have asked events not to play music during timeouts, but they refuse to listen to us. Not much we can do about that. I can still actually hear it, just trying to adjust our levels so we don't pick it up. Sorry if I've gone quiet on you at the moment. You'll have to turn your volume up a little bit, maybe. We'll see how that goes. I can barely hear myself now. That's better. Cranked my volume too. It's not the way I normally like to keep it set up, but hopefully that will filter out a little bit of the background music. I'm going to turn the low levels down a little bit as well, just because it hasn't stopped playing yet. So when we say no music in timeouts, we mean no music during timeouts or play either. So in future, we will just be turning mics off and leaving it. We can't have copyright issues on YouTube. We've made this clear to events and everything we've worked with in the past. So back to the action on track, though. Sorry about the interruption. 4 minutes left of play, second period. 191 plays, 132 now. So we've blown out to a 59-point game. It's been up and down from that mid-30s to that 60-point. Still maintained a fairly close game through most of it, though. Number 2, 3 from Varsity as well. Must mention Red Hot Chili Pepper, J Peps, also commentating on stream yesterday for us. Big thank you. I think we've also got Copter and is it Copter and Bobby? I think it might have just been Copter on our commentary roster from Varsity this weekend. The league with the most, I think, commentators here working on my crew, so big thank you to Varsity. It's very appreciated. We could always do with more commentators from all the leagues playing. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock. Northside Rollers are out. Our lead jammer, they want to stay in control of this jam. They want to stay in control of this game and just make sure they stay just that little bit ahead. Still is anyone's game. It can be turned around with the likes of the likes of Blocked Pussy jamming for Varsity, but the pack is fast. No jammers picking up points in that final scoring trip. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Time for a couple more jams. It's going to require a power jam situation or a miracle almost at this point to keep the Dishonour Rollers in this one. So it's been a very, very close game. It's been a good game. Very well matched game. The kind of derby we've come to expect from events like this here at the Central Coast. Northside Rollers once again are out. Ali Germa. Is that Dave Walker for the Northside Rollers? Or Mad Pixie? That is Mad Pixie. Mad Pixie already through the pack, picks up points, calls it off nice and quickly, gives them time to reset, start a couple more jams, maybe one, maybe two, we'll see how it goes, but the Death Stars now knocking on the door of the 200-point mark. Don't want to see that point crossed, leaving 68 points between them and the Dishonour Rollers if they do. Currently a 66 points difference. Death Stars definitely taking the lead away towards the end of this half, solidifying their position in this game, making sure they're using the clock and using the long jam, using the fast jams, using the hit and quit it's all when needed to make sure they maintain control of that clock and the score. Mad Pixie jamming up for... Was it Mad Pixie? No, sorry. See, this is what happens when I don't have my glasses on. Joe Dirt jamming for the Varsity Rollers. Venus thigh slap once again for the Northside Rollers. Death Stars already through the pack, calls it off. We've got time to reset with one more jam. Taking a look at the official review at the moment. Sheriff has something to say. I might wander in and find out what that's all about. All right, we have the sheriff asking for a conduct to be assessed on an alleged charging offence. Didn't quite catch the action myself, so probably best I don't offer an opinion on it, I think. I'd like to take the opportunity during this official review to thank our sponsor, Skate Project, Better Bearings, and Maitland Roller Derby League. Better Bearings are the place to go if you want new bearings. They are awesome. I can vouch for them personally, and so do many of the skaters I know vouch for them personally. I've heard plenty of commentators who ride on them talk about them. You can get them by finding Better Bearings on Facebook or heading to their website. They are responsible for helping us with new audio gear and extra bits and pieces this season, which have been awesome to have and to help us. It means we've been able to do things like our wireless mics for our shared wireless mics with referees for official reviews when we've got a full production crew. Also bringing in additional inputs and other features into our audio mix and allowing us to, and it was not, yep, the official review was declined. Even Stephen 2468 letting us know that. Thank you very much, officials. I love the fact that these officials communicate with us. And another one coming over, Toto Rod's coming over to give me an update too.
Seeking a charging penalty, there was no for impeding a down skater. Rest didn't have eyes on the
Yep, the requested charge was the charging against a down skater. The refs did not catch that one. I didn't either. So the no call that was not called on the track will stand. Blocked a pussy, jamming for the Varsity Dishonour Rollers, gets taken to the inside, picks up a bit of track with her, gets taken down again, but back up and straight through is lead jammer. Pandy comes off for the Northside Death Stars, but slips through the pack with the panty in hand, is not lead jammer. Wow. Blocked a pussy is ready to pick up points. One very well protected point at the back of the pack, an easy pass there for Blocked a Pussy. Blocked a Pussy gets taken to the outside of the track at the front of the pack and calls it off. Doesn't quite pick up the 4 points there, I do not believe, but I cannot quite see the referee's fingers. It looks like just 3 of them. 3's not enough in this point of the game when we're about to go into what is potentially the final jam, or we're just going to let the clock, no, the clock will be expiring. Skaters now awaiting that final whistle. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and that will be the wrap-up. Unofficial totals, 198 points, the 200 mark not quite cracked by the Death Stars, played 135 for the Dishonour Rollers. I've been the Flat Track Protocol. I hadn't been prepared to commentate this one. Thank you for bearing with me. We should have a better, fuller crew for the next one. We've lined up a few people, so but definitely stay tuned to both our tracks of action this morning, and we will be bringing you full production for our finals later on this afternoon. This is day number 2, track number 1 of East Coast Invitational, the first ever East Coast Invitational 2017, hosted by the Central Coast Roller Derby United, featuring teams from all across Australia. I am the Flat Track Protocol. We will be back with you shortly.